I'll fill it. When you tap out, let me know.
Good morning, everyone. Megan Abundis here. We are around Upper Manning Park here in the Montecito area. So I have a couple of guys here who are part of the Santa Barbara County Special Enforcement Team. Can you introduce yourselves, please?
Go ahead, Joe.
Joe Schmidt, Sergeant with the Sheriff's Department.
Nelson Trichler, Incident Commander with the Santa Barbara County Search and Rescue Team under the Sheriff Department.
Okay, so we have a whole team of guys around here kind of staging in this area. We have a Bearcat, we have heavy-duty equipment around here. What happened in the meeting this morning, and what area are you guys looking at?
Well, we have been deployed to be one of the Swiftwater Task Force, Rescue Task Force. Our staging area is here, Upper Manning, and our area is going to be primarily Olive Mill east to San Ysidro Creek area. So in an event of a debris flow or a flash flood, we are positioned to gain access and to help make rescues as needed. And search and rescue is paired up with the SCT team because they have some unique vehicles for access and to transport people. Joe, maybe you want to explain some of your capabilities.
Sure. This is our Lenco Bearcat. It was real helpful, and on 1-9, it was able to get to areas that no other vehicles that we had were able to get to. We're partnered with Search and Rescue to handle rescues as needed. Our truck is able to get to lots of different areas and then transfer people out, and Search and Rescue is there to help locate people and provide immediate assistance. So we're basically a team, rescue task force team integrated together. And there's actually another Bearcat and Search and Rescue team staged east of San Ysidro to handle that end of Montecito.
Mm-hmm. Can you show us inside of it?
Sure.
So called heavy duty for a reason.
Right. It's about 17 tons, so it's got a lot of good traction. It's a wide wheelbase, a lot of ground clearance. It's used by our special enforcement team, so it's a SWAT rescue truck, but it's very useful in rescues for in the debris flow is very helpful. We can hold a lot of people. We had everything from whole families with their pets
Last time
on 1-9 and the days following it. So it's able to hold a lot of people. The nice thing too is because of the height and the turret, basically it's like a door that opens in the roof. We were able to rescue people out of second floor windows and bring them down to the turret, and it was the safest way to do it. So
they would just hop right in that.
Yeah, they hopped out of the window.
You guys see this right up here. So people were hopping out of their second stories and going through this to get to safety. Wow. So what would this kind of vehicle be used for as well? Same kind of thing?
So no, this is another vehicle used by our special enforcement team. This is just holding gear, and it's moving special enforcement team personnel. But should we get to a rescue mode, then we'll shuffle people around and primarily use these as rescue vehicles with search and rescue.
So were either of you guys out knocking on doors last night?
We were, last night, yes.
We're hearing, people were out since 1 a.m. knocking on doors, getting people aware.
Yeah, I think we concluded about 1 o'clock this morning. We started about 7 o'clock last night, making notification notices to the extreme risk areas, which is about 2,500 people at addresses. We tried to do as many door-to-door knocking as we could, but we also had deputy units throughout Carpinteria and Montecito area doing neighborhood evacuations by patrol vehicles and announcing on their BAs.
So they were going down the streets.
They were going down the street, announcing that they were in mandatory evacuation areas, and they were advised to leave.
So Nelson, we went out last time around January 9th.
We did.
We found
January 8th.
January 8th, yes, for January 9th. What did you find this time? What were people saying to you?
The general feedback is, okay, thanks for the notice, we're going to bed. They were not leaving. They had done the evacuations enough. They felt that they survived the first round, and they were comfortable with was pretty much staying. A few were leaving, but by and large, the response was, thank you, but we're staying.
Both being so highly trained in so many different aspects of rescuing people, how does that make you feel going forward through this?
Well, we just rely on our training. The search and rescue component, we've had a lot of experience in training in swiftwater rescue. We train every year for it. We have people that are very comfortable in the water, and turns out in mud too, very thick mud. The neat thing about this partnership with the Special Enforcement Team is that we can utilize their skills and their access vehicles to get us to a point where from there then we can actually get into maybe mud, high mud. We have equipment, we have the dry suits. We also carry inflatable rafts so that if we need to transport people from their houses across deep areas to this vehicle, then they can then be transported to a collection point where they can get assistance from other resources.
Has there been a collection point established for this storm?
I think there's several out there.
Right. One of them we used last time, and it worked out pretty well, was Coast Village Road, Vaughn's parking lot, just based on it being west of the area, and then it was a big enough parking lot to move people away from the area.
So what's the plan this morning? Will you guys leave this area and patrol, or are you mainly just staying?
We're mainly just going to stay put. I mean, if there's calls that come up that require us, we'll move from here. We're basically, our vehicles are staged in various parts of Montecito for best access, and if something happens, we're available to respond quickly.
So last, on the 1-9, one of the issues that came up was the debris flows that went over the bridges and blocked the roads. So there were many parts in Montecito that were isolated, and rescue units had a difficult time getting into those areas. So what we wanted to do is have pre-deployment stage in those areas so that should they become isolated again, we have units within those areas to respond and help out. And not only us, but the fire department has quite a few assets out and staged along certain points too.
Anything else you guys like to say about today, about what this afternoon could bring?
Well, they keep saying that we're going to get substantial rain somewhere between 11 and 2 or 3. So, you know, weather in Santa Barbara is finicky. We just have to wait and see. People should be mindful of where they are in relationship to potential creek flows and low-lying areas. And don't wait to get an alert on their phone or through the television or radio if they see the water starting rising, to immediately go to high ground. And think about that right now. Think about what their exit points are and where they should go in order to be safe.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.